I'm Dr. Stephen Duncan, Director of Fine Arts for Galveston Independent School District. And I wanted to take a moment today and talk about something that was a really big change in my life. And I can trace it to the day it actually happened. I've been involved in non-Western musics for a long, long time. When I was a little kid, my elementary music teacher, Mrs. Minyard, she taught us things that came from all around the world, and they were little game songs and fun things, and a lot of great stuff. But there came a day when my whole life switched, and I literally became an ethnomusicologist. My whole mindset changed. And it happened literally on one single day. I had been at the University of Notre Dame. I was there to study theology. I was in Moreau Seminary. And we'd had a wonderful weekend doing some stuff. We'd had a party, and at that party we'd had costume contest because it was for come as your favorite saint or sinner. And my friend Morris D'Souza came as an Indian saint from India, and he won the contest, and for that he was given a prize. And the prize was to have a free album at the local music store on campus. Well, Morris went, "Stephen, I don't have a record player, so here, have this." And I thought, oh, cool. Well, I'd just gotten to know Father Morris, and I'd really gotten into Indian music and loved listening to it. So I thought, I will go see if they have an Indian album. They didn't. But they had an album that was just absolutely beautiful, and I actually still have it. It's one of the few that survived Hurricane Ike because it was here in my office and not at my house where all my other records got destroyed. It's this beautiful album with this lovely, lovely woman on the cover here who is Maasai from Africa, from Kenya. And I thought, oh, this is really neat. And its title was Africa, Witchcraft, and Ritual Music. And I thought, okay, that'll be really neat. It'll be something completely beyond what I know. And of course, back in the days, this is an LP. My students didn't know what an LP was. Back in the day, it had all the program notes on the back. So I got it, and I went back to my room, and I pulled out the album, and I put it on my little tiny record player, and I started playing it. And this is what I heard. And I'll pause that right there. My Western ears were not ready for listening to that. I had just finished 2 undergraduate degrees, one in sacred music and one in music education instrumental at my undergraduate institution, Southwestern Oklahoma State University, and my ears were very much set in the Western world. In this is how things are supposed to sound, this is what in tune is, and I put this on, and it grated on my ears. And I went, okay, there's got to be something better on this. And I let the album go. And I made it all the way through the first side going, I don't think I can stand this, but I'm going to use it for a Frisbee. I'm going to take it literally and throw it and use it for a Frisbee because my ears just found this is an awful sound. So I flipped it over and I was going the other side and going like, okay, I'm going to play through everything because there might be something good on here that I like. And I was about halfway through the second side when there was a knock at my door. And I turned around and looked, and there was Father Lawrence Njiroga, who was this wonderful, tall, handsome priest from Kenya. And he knocked at my door, and I was like, oh, no. Oh, Father, I'm so sorry. And I turned the volume all the way down because we weren't supposed to have music that you could hear in our rooms. We were supposed to be on a quiet floor. And Father goes, no, Stephen, where did you get this music? And I was like, oh, Father, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to disturb you. No, Stephen, my mother used to sing this song to me. And I froze. Because here was this man with this absolutely gorgeous, deep voice. He could read me the phone book. They had that kind of a beautiful voice. With obvious love in his eyes, remembering his mother, listening to this music that my ears were just not having anything of. And he came in and he sat down on my bed with me. That's all we had. We had, one chair and a bed. We sat down on the bed there together and listened to this entire album. And he went through it, and he's looking at things, he's saying, no, no, this does not mean this. No, no, this does not mean this. And he went through and told me the story as his mother would have told it for every one of these songs on the album. And my ears began to change. And I began to hear things, not with my Western ears, but with Father Lawrence's ears. And as we talked, and I mean, his eyes watered. I mean, he's filled with homesickness, obvious homesickness and love and happiness for hearing this music. And that bled over into me. I still play this album, although most of the time now I play it on the modern equivalent. There's YouTube has this None Such. By the way, this is a None Such Explorer album. It is no longer available under this title. The title has changed to Witchcraft and Ritual Music, and this is Ngoma Ra Morango, which is from Taita people of Kenya. And he went through and walked me through all of this music, and my ears changed, and I could hear with his ears. And that's the day I became an ethnomusicologist, because I could hear something beyond my understanding because I made a connection with another human being. And we make a mistake very often, and we talk about music being a universal language. I don't believe that's the truth. There are sounds from one place that are so radically different from sounds in another place. We tend to think it's a universal language because all of Western Europe uses music which comes from basically the same fundamental traditions. But if you get outside of those traditions, if you use music which comes from a non-overtone series driven scale, then it sounds radically different to our ears. And for me, this was painful music the first time I listened to it. I thought something was just wrong with it. But as I began to hear it with Father Lawrence's ears, I began to understand why he loved it and how that worked. Music has that effect on people. As we understand how they hear, then we can understand why they like what they like.